All right, sir. Vic, you can take roll.
Hey, Dan Dixon is excused. John Barbera.
Yes.
Vic Christensen here. John DeMiglio.
Here, I'm here.
Chuck Hart.
Yep.
David Rivera.
Here.
Cynthia Gagne.
Here.
Hey, we have 6 out of 7, so that's quorum.
This is yours.
Well, this is the issues committee for February 28th. Let me bring up the agenda. Can you all see it, or?
Yes.
Yep.
Might want to zoom in a little bit.
Okay.
Especially since it takes up just one screen, so you might be able to zoom in and still have it all on one screen. Yeah, there we go. And
There, that's better.
Okay. Well, as I said, welcome everybody to the February 28th Issues Committee report, agenda, and meeting. We're going to keep it a little brief because we have a few things that we're not going to talk, the letter regarding for the Navy and stuff. Cam wants to go over something else with it. So we'll put it on next month's meeting, the March meeting.
Mhm.
So you all know, just so everybody knows, we are holding off for the in-person meeting for another month. It's going to hold off till March 28th. But after that, we will be in person and virtual, depending, how we want to do it. But it's mostly going to be in person. So a lot of you remember we use the City Hall, room 452. We'll be going back to that in April. And if everything goes right, we'll have Peck Park again for the board meeting. At this point, I want to public comments on non-agenda items. There is somebody in the attendees that we've asked to come. She would like to talk a little bit about what she has and what she'd like to do. Everybody agree with that?
Sure.
Okay. Let me get her on.
is that the call-in or is that the Patty?
It would be Patty. But I see that the call-in has her hand up too, so let's go ahead and let her talk.
Well,
And attendees, with the person with their hand up, go ahead.
the call-in person can go ahead.
Patty, can just hang on one second, Patty. The person who's called in on the phone, the 310 number, last 3 digits, 741. Go ahead, you can talk.
That's Patty.
That's what?
It's
Broken up.
Patty, is that you on that cell phone also?
She might need to get to a different area so we could hear her.
I've let them unmute, but they haven't unmuted.
Yeah. The person with the cell phone, 741, last 3 numbers. You may go ahead and talk.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Patty, is that you on the cell
hi.
phone too?
Yes, that's me. I apologize. I have no idea why I have such trouble with you guys on the Zoom because this is my third one today and I haven't had these issues. So I apologize. But can everybody hear me now? On the phone is okay?
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk. I wanted to bring to the council's attention some concerns that I have regarding LA Animal Services. On the one hand, the entire animal system, and then secondarily, how it affects Harbor Animal Shelter in our council district. Late last year, there were some issues that were raised. There were some LA Times articles regarding cruelty to animals and those types of things, which you may or may not been aware of. They were raised, and Paul Koretz, who was at that time the chair of the Personnel, Audits, and Animal Welfare Committee, was able to bring some things to the attention of the City Council. They made some decisions on items that needed to be addressed, and with some direction as to how to go forward. Unfortunately, that was at the end of last year, and so the new council came in, and Paul Koretz, I believe, was termed out. And the city council president made some decisions in terms of changing council and items that come under different committees. So animal welfare is no longer under that particular committee. They were moved to a committee that it's neighborhood and community enrichment, which is the same committee actually that the neighborhood councils are under. However, they are totally lost in the oversight of this committee. They have about 45 different areas that they have oversight or policy and issue concerns with. I think if you don't know this, I have no idea if you are interested in finding out about animal welfare issues, that you would have any idea how to find them. I wanted to find out the difference between what's oversight and what would be policies and issues related things. So I reached out to Councilmember Hernandez, who is the chair of this particular committee, and could not find anybody to talk with. I think she's still adding staff, but there was no way for me to get information that I was hoping to share with you folks. I did actually just this morning find out who her person is who's connected to this committee, but I have not spoken to that person. So I reached out to John Lee's office. He's the vice chair of the committee, and his legislative director responded to me saying that since Councilman Lee is not the chair, he doesn't have any authority over that committee, which was kind of distressing. So I haven't been able to find out any specifics about how this committee is expecting to handle these issues with LA Animal Services. I do know from attending a different meeting of a different group that the search for a new general manager has begun. There wasn't a lot of detail. I believe it's a nationwide search, but I don't know that for certain. Nor did anybody seem to know how long that might actually take. This same group, which is Democrats for the Protection of Animals, also mentioned that they are trying to set up a meeting with Mr. Mejia, who is the new controller, to talk to him about doing an analysis of the budget, because LA Animal Services is very under budgeted. And that he needs to be able to talk with the new mayor. That is one way I think that possibly your folks could be involved, is in encouraging him to set up that meeting to do that. One of the other things that has happened, the the committee last year made an effort to bring more attention to a backlog of volunteer applications because the understaffing of the shelters. Well, apparently on February 14th, the new director of volunteer was put on administrative leave. And since it's a personnel issue, no one is able to talk about that. That's a big concern of mine because clearly more volunteers are needed. So there's a bunch of things that, as I said, these issues here relate to LA Animal Services and will affect all 6 of the city shelters. But then I briefly wanted to touch on some of the issues that I have with our local shelter and how the council might be able to assist specifically with Harbor. There's a what's it called? A pet pantry project process in LA Animal Services, but it only is in 3 of the shelters. And
Patty?
we've been told it will not. Yes.
Yes, Patty. Okay. We usually you'd have just a couple of minutes to talk about this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're gonna have to. It's something we're gonna have to look
Move on.
into.
Okay.
And we'll look into this and stuff because it just sounds like there's a lot more involved and stuff, and might not be for our jurisdiction or something. But I'll talk with Dan and we'll discuss it with some of the guys here and stuff and see. I'll talk to somebody else about it too.
Well, one of the reasons that I wanted to just, if I can quickly say, is that I would like to find out if there's a way that I can help you be a liaison of some sort as you discuss it, and what are the things that you would like to know or not know. If you can let me know, I'm happy to do the legwork and get you the information that you need so that you can help make informed decisions.
Okay.
So
Yeah, let me talk to to our council and everything, and we'll see what we can come up with and what they suggest.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank
Bye.
you. Okay, guys. Any other public comments? Anybody? You gotta unmute,
Oh.
Cynthia.
I was gonna ask her if the animals are still being abused.
Well, it was just for her to just say what she does.
I couldn't gather at exactly where she was going and what she wanted to do. Did you guys get it?
No.
Okay.
What I believe, because we talked to her when Tim McOsker was, I was talking to her over there, and she wanted to be a liaison for us at the meeting. So I'm not going to worry about it right now.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Number 3 was that we got we did the vote, if you remember, on the 24th of January for the renaming the portion of Harbor Boulevard. They wanted to name it, Buscaino Way, and we voted on it. So we just didn't get it into the meeting for February. So we're just reminding, that the motion will be added on the 313 board agenda packet. And also the motion for the trees for Chuck and all that, what he had brought in. So that'll be on this coming meeting in March. That'll be on presented to the board for voting. Because we passed it, if you remember, in January, we passed both of them.
Just make sure you get me the right words
The right words?
to put on the agenda.
Yeah, you will. Now this other one, number 5, motion to support the CF 23-0162. It's a motion by Councilman Tim McOsker to urge the port and the city to seek an alternate location for the former Knoll Hill Dog Park. We want to support Tim McOsker on this. So, what do you guys think? Do I hear anybody talking about this? Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I thought the port was setting up a dog park off the Gaffey Bridge there in Summerlin and Gaffey, below that area. Wasn't that supposed to be a dog park?
You know, I'm to be honest with you, and I'll tell you what.
You know that they had advertised that was going to be that area was going to be the new dog park because they
Yeah,
were
I got
going to close it. They
right,
were
and
gonna
I have
close down the
Lori.
other one.
Yeah, Lori Jacob is on with this. Lori, you can go ahead and talk. I'll get her. She'll explain more about it.
Will I now? Good evening, committee. Well, I'm surprised you don't have a copy of the motion on your screen there to share with
I
everybody.
know, and I didn't put it there. I know.
If you want, I can email it to you. So I glanced through the motion when the port was reworking where the dog park was, when they first presented this to us, where they're reworking the truck entrance and the freeway entrance to the 47 Vincent Thomas Bridge. They
Yeah.
removed the dog park. And then when we asked them, well, are you going to try and find another location? They said, oh, that's not our issue. So they weren't concerned. And I agree with David. There was talk about making a dog park under that on-ramp, but quite honestly, that is a weird location to have a dog park. It's really not very convenient. And right now there's I think a couple of dog parks down in the other end of San Pedro Coastal. There is the Eastview Dog Park, but that's not actually in Northwest. So you probably need to look at the motion that Tim has, but I believe the motion pretty much is just saying he wants the city to look at finding some alternative locations. And I can't imagine anybody being against having another dog park, but we can't really weigh in on it till you know where they're planning to put it. So I was just suggesting we support that we have a council member who is dog friendly and wants to spend some time trying to reach out and find another potential location. So
Are they looking for empty land?
you guys need to look at the motion. John, do you want me to find it and send it to you?
No, I'm looking for it right now.
Okay.
I have it. So
And he's asking the port to help out, where the port kind of said, hey, that's not our issue there. Remember that the dog park was moved supposedly temporarily down to the location it was at when they reworked Eastview. So when they moved the Eastview Little League, when they built Target, they moved the dog park up on top of Knob Hill, and they displaced it for Little League. So it's never really been, redone.
Never had a home.
And I think that, there's all kinds of good reasons why there you go. You might want to make it a little larger to have dog parks, in the community.
okay, can you see that?
Right. So he's just asking for a report on the feasibility. So I was just suggesting that this committee support our new council member in him addressing trying to find another dog park. Very, very simple letter of support. Thank you.
Sorry, guys. I had to run. They're gone out of the house and I got 2 dogs making a mess.
See, you need a dog park.
No, I need a gun and 3 bullets. So did everybody get to read this?
Yeah. Yep.
So We all in agreements that we can write something up to, go along with Mr. McCosker?
Aye.
Okay,
It could be very simple wording, John, just that, that we recommend, supporting this motion. That I don't think it really needs much more language, but, I guess Vic is your motion writer.
yeah, so what we'll do is, and we'll get with Dan on it, because I know he wants to put some into this. Then we can bring it back up on, in next month's meeting, in March's meeting.
Why do you need to, you mean the next month of issues committee? Can't you just out of this committee make a motion to support this and just send it to the board?
Yeah, we could.
Why do you need another month?
Just Joe, just support it off of this one?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Does anybody have anything to say about it?
Mhm.
you just need somebody to make the motion and somebody to word it and somebody to,
Okay. Does anybody make a motion on this?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Second? I'll second it. So Vic, will you write it up?
Well, I typically haven't been writing them. I've been editing them, but
All
I
you have to do is say you support the motion of Tom McCosker and give if he has a title on it and the date, and then say just what the motion is to have a new dog park to replace the one on Knoll Hill.
I
And
mean,
that's it.
we typically need the actual written document to vote on when
That's-
we vote on it, not to say we're going to write it and automatically send it because we agree. that we
We're
should
not
write it.
sending it. We're not sending it. We're just writing the statement of support. Like Lori said, just say that you're supporting it and then just write what that is. So when they see it, they can, and that would be attached to it.
you could just take the therefore last paragraph and it just basically, we support that the city council requests the Port of Los Angeles, blah, blah, blah. That's all
Right.
you really need.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, replacing the dog hill, the dog park at Knoll Hill. Yeah, that's perfect.
Like you could literally use that last paragraph, starting with the city council request.
Do we need to show something now or can we vote on it?
Well, that's the thing. Anytime you vote on something, you need to have that something
I see what you're saying.
that you're voting on. You don't just say, you can do this and use this paragraph and do that. We need the actual product that we are voting on.
So this is on your agenda, Vic. So Cynthia was making the motion. So you need Cynthia to say, I make a motion that the Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council supports council file, blah, 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 that the city council requests the Port of Los Angeles Department of Recreation and Parks, Bureau of Engineering, and any other, that finish that paragraph. That can't, so Cynthia you just need to explain what your motion is.
Okay. I make the motion that our issues committee supports the city council request of the Port of LA, the Department of Rec and Parks, and the Bureau of Engineering, and any other relevant city departments to report on the feasibility of replacing the Knoll Hill Dog Park in proximity to its current location, as written by Tom McCosker.
Tim McCosker.
Councilman Tim, I'm sorry, why did I say Tim? Tim McCosker, Councilman of 15th District. But I don't have the number and I don't have the date.
The council files on your agenda, the council file number.
Ah, good. Do I have to say that too, or can we just have that put on there? And this subject matter?
Yes, the council file number should be at the beginning of the motion.
Because I can't see it. I don't have it in front of me.
John, can you tell her the council file number?
Yes, the number is 23-0162.
And do we have a date on it?
You don't need a date.
You don't, yeah, it doesn't,
Council number, what's it called? The
Council file.
council file.
The letter that John had, or the motion that John has up is dated February 14th,
Thank you.
but I'm looking for the actual. I guess that is the council file.
Shall I-
So you're submitting this as a community impact statement in support of this council file.
Do I have to reread it? Or would you just put that in front of it? Or behind it up, when I said at the end that he wrote, and then it would be council file so-and-so dated so-and-so.
or anything else?
Well, I think we can vote on, as far as the suitability of voting on it, I think we can vote on supporting it, but the actual letter, I don't think we can call, or CIS, I don't think we can call out of committee. We'll have to, in my opinion, vote on it, move and second it at the board meeting.
I think it'd pass too, actually. I think people, know we need dog parks.
But that's what you need to do. You're sending a community impact statement request to the board for
Right.
approval.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna vote it
Right.
here. So we voted it. And then we'll
So-
put it on, he'll put it on the agenda. We'll send it with the packet for the agenda. And that'll be one of the motions for the issues committee that we want the council to vote on.
Would be the CIS.
Right, but the CIS would not be considered out of committee, so we would still need a motion and a second at the board meeting.
Correct.
Okay. That was my concern, is that it sounded like we were trying to approve the actual CIS now.
No,
No.
Why aren't you? I thought that's what you are doing, and then it comes out of committee, and then.
But we don't have the CIS in front of us.
Okay. All right, I surrender.
No, but it doesn't, this is what he presented. This is the CIS he presented.
No, this
We're-
is the council file.
It's on your agenda to consider supporting this motion. So you didn't have to have the exact wording before this meeting. You're just saying you support what's on here, and do what you want. I'm sorry, I'm confused by why this is becoming so difficult.
It isn't. I know, hang on.
I,
You see here, it says motion to support CF 230162, a motion by Councilman Tim McCosker to urge the port in the city to seek an alternate location for the former Knoll Hill Dog Park. We're gonna motion it here. We're gonna vote on it. Then it's gonna go to our board and, do the same thing.
right. So I made a motion to support the Councilman Tim McCosker's file number CF 230162 for the city and the port to seek an alternate location for the former Knoll Hill Dog Park. And we need a second.
I second it.
And I think John already did, yeah.
So now you can go as take a roll call on the vote.
Okay. John Barbera,
Yes.
Nick Christensen, yes. John DeMiglio,
No,
what?
no,
Okay. Chuck Hart. Chuck,
Unmute, Chuck.
yeah,
You're muted, Chuck.
Chuck, you're muted.
Yes,
David Rivera,
Yes,
Cynthia Gagne.
Yes,
Okay, we have, what is that? That is 5 ayes and 1 no, so that carries.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Well, that's going to conclude tonight's meeting.
it was a dog meeting.
Yeah.
a dog meeting.
We helped the dogs today.
Yeah. So, wow. I guess this meeting went to the dogs.
Oh, oh, oh.
Sorry. Sorry.
We do still have one more item. We're not done yet.
We do.
You, the Navy one, he
Well,
said,
the Navy, no, I said in the beginning, the Navy letter that we're going to
Oh.
postpone it till March.
Okay,
Yeah, Dan wanted to, he's got something else to look at, so he asked me if we just postpone it and we'll talk about it in the March meeting.
all right.
So our next meeting is March 28th. And I guess that's it. This meeting is adjourned.
All right.
Unless anybody else has anything else to say.
Next.
amen.
Okay. Well, everybody have a great time. Have a great rest of February, and we'll see you in March.
rest of February, it's only hours.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Hours away. All
Yeah.
right. Night.
Night.
All right, everyone. Have a good night. You stop the recording.